Hello and welcome to the online English classes for grade 11. Today we are going to discuss the chapter 5, The Alien Planet, The Green Movement's Role in Hornbill book by Nani Palkhiwala. So children, this chapter is a newspaper article. It is a sad commentary on the gradual deterioration of Earth's environment. How is the Earth being deteriorated of its natural resources, its minerals and all? How man is selfishly exploiting the Earth. Our planet is no longer a pleasant place to live in. Fisheries, forests, grasslands and croplands need to be preserved and protected. This article suggests that we should try to limit the rise in population and stop the perpetuation of poverty. So, this chapter, children, begins with an article that was published by Nani Palkhiwala, so in the Indian Express, and it discusses the about first of all it begins with the discussion on green movement, that once one cannot recall any moment in world history which has gripped the imagination of entire human race so completely and so rapidly as the green movement, which started nearly 25 years ago in 1972 in New Zealand. So here she discusses that so many moments took place, so many revolutions took place, but the most important among these was the green movement that was meant to protect the environment, that the deterioration of environment and how to cure the loss of ailing earth, how to help the earth in sustaining the resources for the coming generation. So next she say is that we all need to view a holistical and ecological view of the world, means that man is a selfish being. We are just mean and we just are greedy enough to just think about ourselves, our satisfaction, our necessity. What are we thinking about? So here the author wants to dedicate this thing that we should need to focus on the holistical and ecological view, that is a complete and comprehensive study, not only man, not only the plant species, not only the animal species, but the entire world. That is, whatever a world consists of, there are lakhs of species still that have been discovered and still lacks that are still unknown, they are in darkness. We need to protect each and every species, and that is the main role of human being. Here what she means by the holistical and ecological view of the world, she means that it should be a comprehensive, a large scale study and large scale protection that is possible only, that means to be done by the man himself. Here, children, she supports her idea by once in the 16th century, a very famous scientist. He did a lot of discoveries. He discovered that the Earth and the other planets, they revolved around the sun. So sun was the main source of energy. So at that time also, he was the one who said an enormous being, the earth itself is a living organism. So he described the earth as a living organism that had enormous being of which we were parts. It is a big huge being, it is a huge body of which we all are its parts, all the animals, all the humans, all the plant species, everybody is a part of its process, its own. It has its own metabolic needs, means the earth has its own needs. Okay, it has its own ecological balance that we need to maintain for, and the vital processes which need to be respected and preserved. That time in the 16th century only, Copernicus, he wanted to state that we need to take care of the earth, and there are so many processes are going together all together in on the surface of the earth, and we need to respect and protect it for the coming generation. He, at the time of 16th century, he was very wise to say all that. The earth's vital sign reveal a patient in declining health, but what is happening is that now if we see earth, we can just, so here we can the author, she says that earth is, we can compare earth to a declining health of a patient, that a patient whose health is deteriorating day by day. So we need that we have begun to realize our ethical obligations to be good stewards of the planet. So here he wants to say is that it is our moral duty. Ethical obligation means moral duty to be good stewards. Stewards means person who is responsible. So we as humans are responsible for earth, and we are the trustees, we are the guardians, we are the protectors of the legacy to coming future generation. So it is the in Hindi we call it विरासत. तो विरासत है जो human beings we are meant to preserve this legacy for the coming generations. So then she comes to the sustainable development. Here she discusses about sustainable development. So it is a very vast term, children. It means that the development of present needs and to ensure that there are enough for the future generations. So we need to wisely use all the material, all the minerals and resources that we are using right now, that is air, water, earth, and water is there, earth products are there, so many things are there that we need to use wisely. So now if we as human beings in the present generation use them wisely, then the coming generation would be benefited. They will also get enough part of the mineral resources. They will also enjoy all the water, air that we are enjoying freely given by the earth. The coming paragraph, then she discusses about a zoo that is situated at Lusaka, Zambia, where there is a cage and where it treats the world's most dangerous animals. So children, if you enter the zoo, there is a sign written outside that the world's most dangerous animal. So we will enter thinking that there might be a furious lion, there might be an elephant, furious elephant sitting there and all that, or snakes might be there, cobra, python. We may encounter whatnot, we may encounter while we go in. But what happens is, when you enter this zoo, you get to see a mirror, and when you face yourself, then if we have some conscience left in us, then we will realize that what harm have we done to the earth. So because of these things, man is taking steps. Many agencies have come forward to protect the earth. Then children, here she's in the next para, she says scientists have cataloged one. So here she just describes that so many 1.5 million living species are present right now on the earth, and we are the ones who are sharing earth with those species. They are they are animals, plants, water, aquatic life, and all that. All these species are 1.4 million are there at the present time, but there are lakhs of species that are still unknown. Here she has used word language. Language means remain unnoticed, unnamed in ignominious darkness, means in complete darkness. They are still unknown. Ignominious darkness means they are still unknown, they have still not been found, but scientists believe there are still lakhs of species there. So in the next para, then she discusses about the Brand Commission, which has distinguished Indian as one of its member, Mr. L.K. Jha, one of the members. And the first brand report raised the question, are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscapes, and ailing environment? Means this commission, what the report is, was submitted by first brand, the branded report it submitted, that ki if are we the ones who are going to leave earth completely deteriorated, completely devastated, completely exploited for our coming generation? Would they not be able to see anything? Advancing deserts means scorched, means burnt, means completely ridden off. Impoverished means deprived landscapes, means all the minerals have gone, all the nutrition value that the fields have, that on which we grow our plants and we grow our crops and all, and we then eat all that. Are we going to completely get them ridden of the nutrients? And ailing environment, ailing means sick environment, the polluted environment, the completely unbearable environment? Are we going to leave our coming generation this kind of earth? So suggests that then she suggests that according to Mr. Lester R. Brown, in his book that is Global Economic Prospect, he points out that the principal biological systems are four, means four main primary source of resources are there जहाँ से हम we are getting the resources, basic resources. They are fisheries, forests, grasslands and croplands. Here he in detail says that in addition to supplying us food, these four systems provide virtually all the raw materials for industry except minerals and petroleum derived synthetics. So not only these four that we have discussed according to Mr. Lester Brown, fisheries, forests, grasslands and croplands, they not only provide us food but all the raw materials that we need for industries, growth and all. What this happens, fisheries collapse, forests disappear, grasslands are converted into barren wastelands and hungry world, and cropland deteriorate. So if all these we have completely exploited, we have completely taken we have just finished all these resources and all, what would happen? He asks us the question. In a protein conscious and protein hungry world, overfishing is a common everyday. Now every day there are people in eating all these meats and all, fishes and all, they are increasing day by day, and if this rate happens, then it will completely be devoid of the fish in the sea. Then again it will disturb the ecological balance that is going on in the sea. So firewood has become so. Now then he again discusses an important point where he says that firewood had become so expensive that what goes under the pot now costs more than what goes inside it. Means the dishes that we are preparing and the people who are using these firewoods, the woods they are using for creating fire and all for cooking purposes, that is more costly than the thing that you are actually cooking. The product is that is being cooked is more that the firewood is more expensive than the actual product that we are cooking. Since the tropical forest is, the words of Dr. Mayers, the powerhouse of evolution, means the forest they provide us so much, they give us so much of not only good environment, not only the good sources, not only the best of resources we are getting from there, it is the main source of products, main source of forests are considered as the main source of evolution. Means there lot of species they grow and they are just dependent on the forest. So the what is it is that if we completely keep on cutting trees, keep on exploiting everything as according to our desires, then it would be completely deteriorated and the effect would be seen in the coming years. Then she discusses here in the next para is the world's ancient patronymy of tropical forests is now eroding at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year. See how much land is being deteriorated of its mineral resources, and the land waste, soil erosion is taking place. So many other cycles then happen due to one step of a human. Then and the growing use of dung for burning deprives the soil of an important natural fertilizer. So what are we doing is we are exploiting the earth completely according to our own selfish needs. Then in the next para she discusses about article 48 that is situated in the constitution, and that says that the state shall endeavor to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forest and wildlife of the country. Though there are now she is discussing here that there is an important fact that there are certain rules made. They are even given place in the constitution also that it is a necessity to protect the environment and even the wildlife sanctuary in the forest and in the country. But still after all these laws and all, endless anguish is that the fact that laws are never respected nor enforced in India. Neither they are respected. See, there are so many reports of poachers going in the forest. They are just killing, they are hunting the animals, they are ruining the wildlife, they are ruining the forest. The cutting of woods is continuously taking place even after such strict laws are made. So this is all of no use until and unless in Indian constitution, Indian government, it becomes strict and it enforces the laws strictly. Then she says a recent report of our Parliament's Estimate Committee has highlighted the near catastrophic depletion means catastrophic means disastrous, depletion means reduction of forest, Indian forests over the last 4 decades, means 40 years. Has been a lot of depletion of resources and minerals in the forest. So then she says the actual loss of forest is estimated to be about 8 times the rate indicated by the government statistics. So even now it has grown by 8 times. 8 times if you multiply that destruction, so you can see how in a what speed are we moving for the causing in on what speed are we causing destruction to the earth. Man is such a selfish being. He's getting everything provided from the nature, from the earth, from all the species. We all are just contributing something to the every species contributes something to the environment. But what is man doing? Man is just deteriorating. He is just destroying the nature at a 8 times multiplied speed. So I hope children the things were clear. It was so. Thank you.